Anything else about the young man? It's one of the great stories. I mean, every time I look at the numbers and I think of him and him crying in my office. I mean, he's not the only one that ever cried in that office, but because it's like in India. I mean, there's some places that everybody says you can't do it. There's some places in the United States they think you can't do it, which is all bullshit. The only place you can't do it is between your ears. And now and interest rates are low there, just like they are every place else. And it makes it easier for cash flow to cover debt service. If interest rates were 15% again, 90% of the deals that you guys have done in the last 5 years wouldn't work. You're bright enough to understand if interest rates are 3, 4, 5 times higher than they are now, cash flow, it won't work. That's why now you got to make hay where the sun shines. I don't know much longer. I've got a guy who, since 2010, I think I mentioned it 2 or 3 days ago, his average cost per deal, he's got done 17 or 19 deals, is 2%. 2, and it's a European deal, 2%. And commercial banks, 2%. I mean, almost anything works at 2%. No, not almost. Anything works at 2%. And when I was doing this, interest rates were 15, 16, 17, 18%. I go back and I look at some of the deals and I go, what the fuck? I don't know how I did that. But I had no choice. It was either that or get it done. I was telling, who was I telling when I went to the wrong well? I was telling you, back when when I keep telling people that I didn't know anything about the oil business, and that nobody believed me. And so we were out in West Texas, near between Midland and Odessa, which is just a shithole. And I'm staying in a motel that had block cinders, cockroaches running around. And we went because I wanted to see a well completed, come in, as they say. So we drove. My buddy Charlie Soliday, who was my CFO, who was the partner at Coopers and Lybrand, who left, who's now part of PricewaterhouseCoopers. We drove out to the well and we go up to the drilling superintendent. I'm wearing my cowboy boots that were brand new and my belt buckle that said "Oil Field Trash" and proud of it, and my jeans that I just put on, and I wasn't wearing my cowboy hat. But we go out there and we're talking to the superintendent. We're shooting the shit, and then I hear him go through 8,000 or 8,500, and I thought this was only a 7,000 foot well test. And so then I finally asked them, and they said, "Oh no, we're gonna test 12,000 feet." So I knew I was in the wrong place, and so I sheepishly telling me so. And then at night they've got these what they call Christmas lights on the drilling rig, and he says, "Then you look over 2 miles that way, and you can see other rig Christmas lights." And he says, "I believe that's a 7,000 foot test over yonder." And so we drive over there, and we've been sitting on the wrong fucking well. And I mean, that is a mistake that the most green, naive, first of all, you wouldn't admit to it. I mean, never. Okay. And then, but within 48 hours, everybody in West Texas knew about it. That, "Oh, Peña, that stupid Mexican, I don't know how to get that goddamn money, but goddamn, he can't even find the right well." So we go out there and we made a well. And I said, "Well, sitting on the wrong motherfucking well." And they just, everybody laughed, fuck. But at the Petroleum Club, when oil went from 40 to 8-ish, we were the only one that had a Christmas party at the Petroleum Club. Everybody else, budgets dried up. And there was a secondary market in Rolex watches. Because nobody buys a more gaudy, ugly watch than a fucking pig-fucking oil guy from Oklahoma or Texas, with diamonds and rubies and shit and naked girls painted on them. Unbelievable. And they made out of nuggets. I mean, just look like trash. gypsy pigs. And there was a secondary market at the petroleum club. You could buy, in those days, a Rolex watch cost from $6,000 to $8,000, more or less. You could buy them from $2,500 cash. It's line them up 2 miles deep. And you were getting all the jewels for free that they put on. And some of the guys bought a bunch of watches and they were giving them to their kids, and because we were flush. And there's no bigger spenders that don't give a shit than the guys in the oil business. They're just like drunken sailors, worse than drunken sailors. I mean, and that used to be the epitome, spending money like a drunken sailor. And we have, you saw part of it the other night, and I'm sure he's going to do his country proud and his branch service proud come graduation night. I know what you're talking about, sir. Yeah. What else about the little Hungarian shit? Any questions? And I call you all little shit, so I mean,
his dream was 10 times, 100 times bigger after coming here.
Yeah. It's even bigger than 100 now.
Even before I got here and I started watching your stuff, I was just like, man, my dream is such a piece of shit. Like, it needs to get so much bigger. Yeah. Once I realized like this was possible.
Well, even though you read about it, until you experience it, and until you hear some of these guys, intellectually, maybe you can accept it, but where you've got to accept it to make it happen is you've got to emotionally believe in it. Because when you see that it's possible with other people, may forget, so I did it, But now you've seen other people do it, little shits do it with no education, no background, no nothing. He can't even spell hospital, Now, he is well educated. Now, full disclosure, he is a man of letters. He has degrees, multiple degrees from big universities, English lit, art history from 1641 to 1826, that kind of shit. Okay, full disclosure, he has that kind of shit. But that and a dollar won't buy you a fucking glass of water at Starbucks for what we're doing. So, he is intellectually bright. He is, so full disclosure. He didn't sound too bright, but I mean, on that thing. But, full disclosure. But they can't take it away from him now. They're trying to. The gangsters. Hey, you need a partner. You need now. People want to give him lines of creditor. How about you need a line of creditor? Vigorish. And so and he's not doing any of that. And you can do it with commercial banks. Anything else?
Yet again, said just follow the process.
Oh, they all going to say that, and then when you don't follow the process, and I say, moron, you sat there, we've got you on YouTube, so you follow the process, and the first weekly report, he's on step 5. And I'll say, what about that didn't you understand? And because it's, everybody in this room, save one or two, has got a cousin, a brother-in-law, a father-in-law, a somebody that can ostensibly shorten the process. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay, YouTube, goodbye.